Hello everyone, this is Men's here. I'm going to be doing a few commentary battles. I'm doing this all live, so you'll get a real reaction to what's happening, whether I get ammo racked or I do something very good. I'm going to start off here with the IS-4, the Tier 10 Russian heavy tank. A lot of people don't like this tank since it got moved to Tier 10, since the armor, it's not exactly the best at Tier 10, although it does provide good all-around protection, especially if you angle like 15-20 degrees at most, or else your cheek armor becomes weak. But basically it's a well-rounded overall tank. It's a little bit more durable than the E5, but its gun's a bit worse, and it's a little bit slower overall. So it resembles the E5 in a bit as an all-around tank where it doesn't specialize, but it's a little bit sturdier. Okay, so that guy is going to be going down to the J3, J4 spot, which a lot of people like to hide behind the building. To counter that, you just drive up here to around F8, where this E5 and SU-122 are at, and if they aren't on the backside of that building, you're able to hit them. Even though it appears that our team's letting him. No, they're pushing him out. Okay. Yeah, if you just get right over here, you can actually shoot them on the backside of this building. So you pretty much get rid of them right away. It's all up to your team actually forcing him out of there, though. Okay, so why isn't this other medium tank lighting up? Yeah, but basically if someone gets down to J3, J4, and they're on the field side of the building, you can shoot them from over here. The trees back here are a little bit safer though. And if they get like to the spot where you can't hit them from there, hopefully your teammates help.
Looks like that one went right
Okay,
through.
maybe I should pay attention where I'm going. I'm sort of driving out in the open here.
We've hit them hard.
Luckily, there's only one arty. I'm just gonna want to get a little bit outside their view range. And it looks like we have plenty of people on the hills, so instead of going up there and basically cramming in there, being a free shot, I'm going to go along the bottom of the hill most likely. It actually does not look like they're doing good right now. Really, people should like listen and look at the map. It's like you see all these people on the fucking hill up here. Why doesn't the base fucking push?
We nailed it bad.
Granted, I should be paying attention right now and shooting, but we have 5 people at the base. Why isn't the base just gonna push into them and they'll outnumber their base? Sure, there's a T95 there, but it's better than being overrun after we lose the hill. stopped. Asshole.
They're hit.
And of course I hit the track. Wow, that went way to the left. And that went a little bit low now too. Not really having too much luck with the accuracy of this thing right now.
Got him. Track's up. Let's go.
See if I can spot a few things up here. So while the armor isn't too great on paper, at range it is good enough to protect you from a lot of stuff shooting at you.
They killed our driver. That one didn't go through. Track hit.
Just gonna plow forward, I hope, and get to the bottom of the hill.
Track's up. Let's go.
Probably gonna die here, but I just really just want to spot for my teammates.
We've had it. Let's get out of here.
That's one thing about the IS-4 I don't particularly like, is it's a little bit sluggish, especially getting off from 0 and getting up to speed, which is part of the reason why the E5 is a little bit more preferred, is it's a bit more mobile. Yes, it does sacrifice the side and rear armor the IS-4 has and a bit of HP, but the mobility really helps. I'm just glad that the base people on our team decided to push. Because if you've realized, there's a lot of people over on the hill. Sure, rushing across the field does suck for the first couple shots you have to take, but once you get past that, you basically can just overwhelm them, and then that secures the match for your team. Do not know what this 268's doing. That T30's coming. What the hell's he doing? Shoot him! Oh, he has a better aim than me. Especially with a damaged gun. Wow. Especially on a move with a T30, it's a pretty lucky shot there. So if you're not going to get out of the way, at least point your armor towards him. Well, it's all tied up now. I thought he was up by the church. I guess there is one advantage being T95. You're the slowest tank, so you get to bring up the rear and look like a hero. Is that a HE shot? That was a pretty low damage roll. Either well, we won, so me rushing towards the hill was not a stupid thing, per se. Overall, a pretty decent game. I got middle of the pack XP, and I spotted for 3,000 damage, while doing 1,400 damage on my own. Next up, I'm going to play the M48A1 pattern. The M48 pattern isn't exactly the best tier 10 medium per se now, ever since they nerfed it. That's because it's bigger than the T110E5, which most people don't realize, and doesn't have any armor at all, except for the frontal turret, which does eat a lot of shots around the mantlet. So basically, you get a bigger tank than the E5, less armor, you gain a little bit of mobility, which is pretty much kind of useless because you're so big that the increased mobility actually doesn't help because people can just point and shoot at you. And you gain a little bit of DPM over the E5. And a hair on the move accuracy. It's a little bit better than the E5, maybe like 25% better, but it still basically is a fast E5 without the armor. Those T-57s are definitely going to be a pain in the ass. Let's see how far our team pushes before I commit. There's this little notch here, which is pretty good for this side.
One of our tracks is damaged. We've lost a track. Enemy is hit.
Don't have a bunch of autoloaders fucking ramming into you.
Let's go. Optics destroyed. Looks like that one went right through.
Ooh, I got saved right at the last second.
Viewfinder back up. Visibility increased.
Yeah, this notch is really good when you don't have a bunch of autoloaders on another team. At least for public matches, it gives you a spot to where you can push ahead if you want, play defensive if they're starting to push, and you can pop a few shots off from relative safety, since you're safe from arty fire.
Enemy armor is hit.
I'm gonna repair that since I really want to be able to see something since I have low HP. Next shot I take, I die.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
It's like the plus side of the M48 is it's sort of good at everything, but it doesn't really excel in any one place anymore. So it is a decent pub tank since you're able to get around and fill in a lot of different roles, but it doesn't really have that one certain aspect that it excels in that you can really exploit.
Penetration.
It just hit his back wheel. Still want to be somewhat careful since entering or exiting the city from here, you are a bit exposed to anything in their base. It's really a little bit safer to go up where that low is since you have a few rocks you can hide behind. But if they have people in J4, you really don't want to be coming from here since they have a clear line of fire on you once you leave these buildings. Don't want to die here right at the end. Oh shit. Ah, fuck. Well, at least their E100 succeeded in staying alive long enough to kill me. I guess sitting at the base and being useless for most of the match has its role. Either way, it's a pretty decent game. Got middle of the pack XP again, and I did 2100 damage. Which, at the beginning, I didn't think I would actually get to there because that bat chat rolling into me definitely could have killed me if my team didn't help me out. So next up, I'm going to play the T110E5. Which, as I was sort of talking about earlier, it's really a jack of all trades tank. Look, I'm in the same map as the IS-4 too. Really excels in being good at basically everything that you want a heavy tank to do, except for it really has bad side armor. So if you get flanked or already hits the side of your tank or the rear, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. But it does have really good frontal armor, besides the lower glacis near the track wheels. And the Commander's Cupola, a lot of people think it's very weak, but beware because it will bounce a lot of rounds if you don't hit it dead on.
Let's get this show on the road.
Usually I'll aim for the Cupola if I can't hit the lower glacis, but I usually make sure that I fire something like a heat or an APCR round at it. Since if you don't hit it straight on, it will bounce your shell off of it a lot. I don't think he saw me. I have 6th sense. It's just a blind shot. Doesn't seem like anyone's rushing to field this match since they don't have any mediums. So this is probably going to be a crappy hill fight like usual. This side, I find it's a bit harder to push the hill from this side since you don't exactly have a much longer route. You have a slightly longer route than if they have the same tanks as you. Since you're going uphill most of the way, they have a little bit easier time going through by the church since it's not always uphill like this. So usually they do beat you up and they're at A9 before you actually can start getting all the way up a hill. So this side, you really don't want to stick in the forest. If you have people on your pub team pushing up, because you really leave them out to dry, you really have to commit or not commit at all. Seeing as there's only 3 tier 10s though, and only their IS-7 is kind of fast, I'm definitely going to head up here so we don't lose our T62A really quick. Or T62A, not T62E.
Looks like that one went right through. We've lost a track.
At least he's going to create a little bit of cover for us. Whoops, hopefully I did not hit him. I'm going to try to shoot a little bit of this house out for our arty. Although I probably shouldn't be using premium rounds, but it'll work.
Enemy is hit. Enemy is hit.
You always want to keep moving when you have a bunch of arty aiming at you. Even if it's not a lot.
That's gotta hurt. Enemy is hit. Penetration.
Yeah, there are mosses coming up here. That's a little bit different. Basically, you want to shoot right of the gun, right or left of the mantlet. You don't want to hit the mantlet. And I tried to track him there, but that didn't work.
Penetration.
Definitely want to give our arty a non-moving target since he's right near us.
The track is damaged.
So that worked out pretty nicely. We're not dead yet. And there's definitely a lot of dead tanks around us. As you can see, the windmill is definitely key to surviving a hill battle. It basically gets tucking behind the windmill no matter what, and you have a better shot at not dying. So this Yagurdi 100 is probably up here behind the building, so I'm gonna take a little bit more of a safer route, I think.
One of our tracks was hit. We've lost a
Forgot
track.
I didn't have a repair kit either. But usually sliding down this hill, you can be a little bit more safe about it. You want to stick on the green areas, but it's a lot better to go down the side of the hill than to run down the usual route and get blasted by something waiting there for you. Like that. I'm not spotted yet, so I'm just gonna wait for him to back up a little bit. Just gonna be a little bit patient here and wait for those guys to move up, since I can be one-shotted by him. I'm gonna hope that they spot something, so either I can push on him when he turns, or I can hit something in their base.
That one didn't go through.
crap, tried to track him. Okay, he's tracked now, that's good. Maybe a little bit stupid here and start moving into him.
Enemy armor is destroyed. Penetration. Got him.
Gotta love big tanks using them as shields. Why can't I spot that already?
Got him. They're hit.
So overall, a pretty decently well played match. It was definitely fun on top of the hill. Definitely a lot of tanks died up there. So I did pretty well. I got 2,000 experience. That's with premium no. Confederate. Got top XP. 1,300 without the premium modifier. Did 5,100 damage, and I spotted for additional 3,900, which is very well. And even with using a few gold rounds, I still turned a profit, which I'm a little bit surprised at. Although I think I had a few gold rounds. Yeah, I had them in my depot, so that wouldn't show up. Either way, thank you for watching. Glad I did at least somewhat decently in the first couple matches, and this last match definitely was fun to play. And thanks for watching my videos.